welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're going to be at another historical institution, the Tishner Orthopedic Clinic for Children. And joining me is Lori Woodruff, who is the executive director of the clinic here. Lori, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by today.
Now, you were founded, I believe, in 1926.
Yes, Adelaide Tishner founded the clinic on her death, and the clinic was opened in 1926.
And you moved in this building in 1938, so you were somewhere in between.
We started in the basement at Long Beach Community Hospital next door, and were able to see the very first patients there, and then the first building opened in 1938.
So you didn't have far to move.
Yeah, that was really fortunate for Tishner.
How did Adelaide Tishner get her wealth in order to do all the civic work that she did?
Adelaide was married to a lumberman who was based out of Riverside, California. So she was able to do many philanthropic things with the money that they made in that business.
And I believe she also was one of the founders of the Ebell Club.
Yes, she was very involved in the community, founded Ebell. She was very involved in the library, the Long Beach Day Nursery. She was a prominent citizen of Long Beach.
And she had a beautiful green and green house down on Ocean Boulevard.
Oh, yeah. I wish that was still preserved.
I'm still hoping it'll be restored to its original beauty one of these days. But speaking of beauty, you have a nice building here. Now, this is a combination of streamlined modern, and the entryway looks more Art Deco than streamlined modern, with the setbacks and the striations. That's not the word I want.
Striations, yes.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, and I understand, now, this is a beautiful building. It has a lot of architectural features, and I understand that they remodeled it in 1960s and covered up all of the details?
Yeah, they thought at the time that they would modernize the clinic and put this iron grate up in front of it that hid the whole front of the building. And then in 2003, we were able to restore the original architecture, and we're very proud of how it's turned out.
You know, I was reading an article about the clinic, and it said that Mrs. Tishner started it basically so that they could provide health care for all children regardless of their status.
That's still true today. We accept patients who have no insurance, or if they're underinsured, say they have Medi-Cal, or if they're not able to obtain the service elsewhere, then those are the children that we're here to help.
Is there any particular reason why she started an orthopedic clinic?
Adelaide had a club foot, I think, when she was a child, and I think she realized that if she'd gotten care early in life, it would have made a difference for the rest of her life. So she had a special passion about helping children with physical handicaps, and also infantile paralysis was a particular interest to her.
Oh, well, can we go in and see your facility?
Welcome, come on in.
All right. It's also Art Deco in here, isn't it?
Yeah, I love this lobby. I think it's beautiful design with all the lines and the curves on the walls. And the furniture is actually, I think, from the Bixby Ranch.
You know, I was just going to say there's a connection between this and the Long Beach Day Nursery, because Florence Bixby started the Day Nursery, and I see she was vice president when this clinic opened.
Yes, until recently we had a member of the Bixby family on our board of directors. Oh. So we have a strong connection there.
So this is the reception area out here?
Yeah, this is our lobby. Let me show you our one of our program areas. This is our assistive technology lab. Is that okay? In this area, we do speech therapy with some of the children that are 1 to 3-year-old, and our goal is that they leave our program with the ability to communicate in some form or another, whether it be sign languages, pictures, or assistive technology.
So all of your patients then do not have orthopedic problems?
Most of these kids have speech delays in addition to their orthopedic problems. But it can be developmental delay, it can be orthopedic, it can be neurologic.
And what's the age range for your students?
The students in this program are 1 to 3, but in the whole clinic, any orthopedic problems, it could be birth to 18 years of age.
And what about how many students do you have?
The clinic helps anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 children a year. In this particular program, there's about 40 children that are helped a year. So we have a computer area that the children are able to use single switch devices to activate the learning software on the computer. We have a standard speech therapy table where they get to work on articulation problems. And then in this little play area behind me, they get to play with the toys, switch-activated toys, or they use a communication device that speaks for them, and they're simple button controls.
Now, are all of your staff members who do the speech therapy and whatever else, are they all credentialed?
Yeah, they're licensed speech and language pathologists, and we have 2 on staff. We have a mentor lead therapist, Marilyn Edwards, and then a student who's just graduated from Cal State Long Beach paired with her, who's full-time, so she's finishing her clinical fellowship year.
Do you have any medical personnel on board?
We have a physician that comes to the clinic. He comes 2 times a month and sees children, again, with no insurance who have simple orthopedic problems. And we collaborate with Miller Children's Hospital and run the Miller Children's Hospital Tishner Orthopedic Center, which is actually located on the other side of the hospital right now, a center of excellence. So I can show you one of the orthopedic rooms.
Sure, let's go. Now, before we go into the exam room, is this one of your students?
This is little Ami. Hi, Ami. How are you today? Can you say hi?
Can you say hi?
Hi.
And you are?
I'm Summer Sheridan. I'm a speech pathologist here.
Aha. So she looks like she's a little bashful.
She is a little bit shy. Are you shy?
All right, thanks for talking.
Bye.
Okay, this is one of the exam rooms. Oh, this looks like a regular doctor's office.
Yes. So this room is one of our larger rooms, and we're able to remove casts if we need to in this area, or the physician does exams here, and the physical therapists also use this room for individual treatment sessions.
And how many rooms do you have, exam rooms?
We have 3 exam rooms right now, and they all have high-low tables and x-ray view boxes for the orthopedists, and afford us that, small space that's private to help a client.
All right, where next?
We could have just done the treadmill. Instead, we have to make our
Here's one of our little guys who's getting outpatient physical therapy with Mary Wardell, our physical therapist. A lot of the kids here are working on walking and strengthening for...
How old is he?
2.
2?
2 years old. Huh? Thank you.
Ah, let's go swimming.
We named this the Gladys Neff Pool. Gladys Neff was the director at the clinic for 30 years, so we named it in her honor. And this is one of the favorite areas of the clinic. The pool is 2.5 feet deep by 4.5 feet deep, so it's perfect for children. It's got nice steps on the end. It's open 5 days a week. We have swim lessons Monday through Friday afternoons. And it's for kids with special needs, and there are lots of scholarships available to help with the cost of those lessons.
As I look around in here, it seems like the tile, is it original?
So yeah, the color and all the tile is original in this room. So when the architect did the remodel, they chose these colors to redecorate in the rest of the building.
And the chair?
The chair is actually new. We had a lift that looked more like a gas station lift, like with the cars that lifted up, and that was donated to us from Sir Optimus International of Long Beach. But this is a new lift.
A patient or a child would sit in there and then you would lower them into the water?
Exactly.
Oh.
So some of the kids need a little assistance in getting in the water in and out safely. And we have physical therapy in the pool 2 days a week. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the physical therapist will work on activities with the children where weight bearing is important, but we don't want to stress their joints. It's good for children with pain issues like sickle cell disease. Those kids do really well in the pool, or arthritis.
It's really warm in here.
Yeah, it gets a little bit humid, and it's nice and toasty, which is good when you're in the pool.
I bet it would be. Yeah. It looks refreshing. Okay, now where?
Let me show you our gym.
All right. Now you call this the gym?
Yeah, we see physical therapy patients in our gym, and it's designed both for adolescents, the preteens like to come in here and work on aerobic things or weight strengthening, or our little guys like this guy. Bye.
This looks like a rock climbing wall, is it?
It is. The climbing wall is a great reward, and it helps children with motor planning. It's a flexion activity. So, and we also have a really $7,000 light gate machine over there that you can suspend a child over a treadmill and work on ambulation skills. So it's a really nice piece of equipment for those children that are just learning to walk and need a lot of support. Otherwise, we do a lot of strengthening, range of motion, the mat activities with the kids to help them recover from whatever injuries or disabilities they might have.
Well, there's quite a bit of equipment in here.
Yeah, variety is a key with kids. We're trying to do a fitness program for children with musculoskeletal problems, so the treadmill is helpful with that. We have a bike in the corner here, a recumbent bike, so they can work on that. In the other side of the room, we have an upper extremity bicycle. We have the total gym, which helps them with strengthening, weightlifting, and medicine balls. So they do, they can throw the weighted balls to get some upper body strength.
Well, this is quite a nice facility.
Thank you. Let me show you our early intervention area.
Okay. Oh, on our way here, I see Long Beach Heritage, an award for you. I was president of that for 3 years. So you must have received an award for redoing the building, the facade.
We're really excited to be nominated and receive that award in 2003 at the completion of our remodel project. And that meant a lot because that was our goal, was to restore the building to its original architecture.
I might have been president at that time in 2003.
So we might have met on the Queen Mary.
We might have. I notice your bulletin board here, and I see the Miller Burns Japanese Garden Library. Do you go on field trips with your students?
Yes, once a month we go on a field trip with the classes, and the goal is to help model how we can enrich an activity in your regular community, with the physical therapist being there, and the parents can network with each other, and you would be surprised at how much language comes out in a natural environment.
Okay, in this room we're going into now is the gym, you said?
This is a physical therapy room for the early intervention program. It's where the kids work on all their jumping and their throwing and their large movement activities, so they develop their gross motor skills.
And these children are about how old?
All these children are between the ages of 1 and 3 years of age. And at 3, they'll graduate from our program and go to the school district and a program specially for them.
Now, what are they going to jump off there?
So what they're doing now is working on a motor planning test. They're trying to go upstairs, follow a task, pick up the leaves, and come down around through the other side. So it's all about motor planning, coordination, and moving over different texture surfaces. See how it works on it, challenges their balance. And,
it keeps the instructors on their toes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always a challenge keeping everybody focused and going on the same task.
Let's come down.
When you have a group to work with, too, it's hard. You're not one-on-one, and the kids always give you a run for your money.
Well, I notice if you have very small groups and you have the ratio of children to instructors are very, very low.
We try and keep it 2 to 1, 2 children to 1 staff member. And there are generally 12 children enrolled, so today we probably have a few kids out with absences and illness. And they split the group in 2, so half work at a time in the gross motor section. The other half's working in with the occupational therapist.
You seem to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, the kids really have fun in here. And that's the whole goal, is that during play that they work on their skills. And we want to help them feel successful.
I thought maybe they were going to jump off the platform into the inner tube.
We do have them jump sometimes, but we put this big pillow. It's called Cloud 9, so that it's nice and safe for them to practice jumping into a pillow.
And how long do they work on this skill?
So they'll be in this area for about a half an hour working with a physical therapist and an aide. And then they go into the next classroom and work for 30 minutes with the occupational therapist.
Can we go in the other room and check it out?
Let me show you that area.
Okay. Okay, and this room is?
This area we use for snack time. It's one of the favorite activities of the children. And snack time is really a chance to develop social skills, language, and some oral motor or chewing, eating skills.
This is the snack down here? Or this whole area?
This area right in here with the little tables. They sit at the table and wash their hands. So they also do dramatic play in this little play area after snack time. So again, they're working on social skills, interacting with other children, and developing some imagination, creativity.
And down at the end of the room here?
So at the end of the room here, we have the occupational therapy going on. Debbie is our occupational therapist, and Maria.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, kids.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
We're just going to be scooping out some pumpkins.
Oh, you're scooping out pumpkins today.
So that's one of the things we're going to be working on.
They usually work on manipulative activities or tabletop activities that develop coordination of their hands and their fingers.
Wow,
He's not quite sure what's going on.
Pay attention. What is that doing? Good.
Be all ready for Halloween, won't you?
Yeah, it'll be a fun activity for them. All the kids get evaluated by the therapist, and then they try and incorporate different activities based on what things that they need to work on. So they might work on puzzles or matching, or they might work on scooping, or if they might need sensory experiences. So every child gets kind of a different activity based on what their evaluation shows.
Now, are you going to plant the seeds and grow pumpkins in the backyard?
We have had a little tiny garden in the backyard, but I don't know if we'll sport pumpkins.
It's part of our theme. I mean, we did some paper bag pumpkins there. All the kids in all the classes contributed to that tree right there.
I want to know who plays the keyboard.
Our physical therapist, Mary, donated the keyboard, and again, the kids love that. They'll act out playing music, and you know, the favorite activity of the whole development program is freeze dance. So they put on music, and then the music moves, and at one point it says freeze, and everybody has to stop their moving, and all the kids freeze. And then it'll go again, and they do it every day. It's their favorite activity. So there's one more area. We have an outside area where the kids can play.
Let's go check it out. And then I think we're going to go back to the pool, aren't we, so we can see somebody working out?
Yeah, somebody's having a swim lesson, so that'd be
good.
fun to check in.
Oh, this is a nice area out here.
This is really great for the kids to be able to get outside in a safe and closed environment. We have a little slope so it can challenge their balance. The mats are all rubberized and really safe. We have an area up in the top here for the littlest children.
This is, oh, yeah, it is rubberized, isn't it?
It's all cushioned.
Soft.
And the area down below, the children of all ages actually love that activity and have, you know, many different challenges there.
Now, on nice days like today, do they have time they spend out here?
Generally, they plan it into their curriculum, so they'll go out during their gross motor activity. And so, yeah, the kids do get out in the nicer months, which in California is a lot.
All fenced in, so it's very secure.
Yeah, so we don't have any problem with the children can run and explore the area, and we use trikes out here and have little parades with wagons and such, so it makes it really nice for the children. Yeah. The other thing we do out here is water play, sand play. They do their painting activities out here, so it's just much easier. Bubbles, we chase the bubbles.
So it's multitasking out here.
Yeah, it's a fun place for the children.
All right. Now, did you say this wing was added on?
Yes, when we did our expansion, we weren't able to house the whole programs of the clinic, so that the whole wing on this back end of the clinic was added on.
Well, they sure matched it up to the front of the building, the original portion of the building, quite well, didn't they?
Yeah, they tried to carry through the same lines and the same look and feel as the front of the building. I think they did a great job.
Okay, we're going to go back into the pool and we're going to check it out once again. You have little areas all over to work at, don't you?
Yeah, we try to keep a little kids area in the lobby too, so they can be the sisters and brothers that have to wait, have a place to play.
Now, do the parents provide the transportation for the children?
The clinic has 2 vans, and so we're able to transport. About half of the children here need transportation to get to their therapy appointments. So,
How long are they here at all day, half day?
so the children in our early intervention program are here just 2.5 hours. So we have 4 different classes that come. They come twice a week. And the children that come for outpatient therapy probably spend an hour here, or the lessons. Yes.
And we're going to go in and...
We have a lesson in progress.
Good.
And, some of the funding for our program comes from the Rich Kempster fund that was given to the clinic. One of our board members passed away, and he was a former patient here, and one of his loves was the pool program.
You know, that's something I was going to ask you, and I had almost forgotten until you just mentioned it. How do you fund yourself? Because if the children don't pay for the services...
We depend on donations. So over the years, the community has been very generous to clinic, and the money has all been invested, and people continue to contribute and donate to this day, large gifts or small, and that helps fund all the care that is provided in the clinic.
Now, is she learning to swim, or is this just a therapeutic activity?
She's getting a swim lesson. So one of the hallmark features is the back float method. So we're trying to help the kids learn how to be water safe. So she's teaching them how to roll over on their back and then kick when they go on their stomachs to the edge of the pool. So all the children that receive swim lessons here have some physical challenge and would have a harder time in a regular swim class. But one-on-one here and with a special technique, they do really well.
She seems to be enjoying it.
Yes, she really is enjoying it. If you notice, she gave one of her little signs when she brings her fingers together. That means more. And so she's signing to her teacher, telling her that she wants more.
Oh, is she deaf?
She probably has hearing issues.
Oh.
Yeah. So Vanessa is one of our lead swim instructors, and she's been doing our program now for over 2 years. And it's one of our fastest growing new programs, very popular with the children.
Now, how many children do you have in the pool at any one time together?
Usually we try and just limit it to 2 or 3 in getting swim lessons. But when we have physical therapy in the pool, there might be as many as 4 or 5 in a group, all working on fitness activities and challenging each other, and it kind of makes it more fun for some of the teenagers. So in any given afternoon, we might have 25 or 30 children who come in for lessons during that afternoon.
And how long does the swimming lesson last?
So usually we find that the kids' energy level is good for about 20 minutes. And then after 20 minutes, if they're pool safe, they get to play for another half hour while the next child is having a lesson. So that's one of the things that is a reward for doing well. So she's playing Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall with one of the children, and being able to, come into a pool is one of the important skills.
This is a great facility. I'm really quite impressed, and I know you provide a needed service to the community, as you have for all these many years.
We're trying to continue Adelaide's vision for the clinic to provide services to improve the functional abilities of children with orthopedic musculoskeletal problems.
You know, when you stop and think of some of the pioneering families that was here in Long Beach, like the Tishners, the Bixbys, they were quite generous with their wealth and their service to the community, weren't they?
They made a huge difference, and look at how long it's continued into the future for them. I think, their gift keeps giving, and that's just tremendous when you look at what they've done.
Do you ever take your children up to Rancho Los Alamitos?
Yes, we do. We have a field trip up there because that was one of the things that in the rancho they said if Tishner's children ever needed a picnic that we were welcome there. So once a year we bring the children up there and they see the animals. And
well, come up on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th Wednesday of the month, and I'll take you on a tour. I'm a docent up there.
Oh, that's fabulous. That'd be wonderful.
I would enjoy it. Lori, I want to thank you for giving us a tour of your facility here and letting us see the great work you're doing and will continue to do for probably many years to come.
Thank you so much for coming. That was great.
Thank you. And this ends our 6th year of filming Long Beach Treasures. I want to thank you for your support and for watching the show, because without you, we wouldn't be here. So it's been a real pleasure, and come back next year as we start season 7, and we'll still take you on a journey and see some of the treasures of Long Beach. And on behalf of myself, our cameraman John Jean, Ron Petke, and all the folks at Charter Communications, we would like to wish you a most joyous holiday season. And we'll see you again next year on Long Beach Treasures.